Hello and welcome to a special packed 30-minute edition of Frost Over the World, concentrating on the conflict in Gaza. Later in the programme we'll hear from an Israeli diplomat, have a discussion on the issues behind the conflict, and hear from the United Nations humanitarian mission in Gaza. But first, Hamas, the supposed target of the Israeli army. I'm joined now on the telephone by Musa Abu Marzouk, the deputy chairman of the Hamas Political Bureau. Let me begin, Mr. Marzouk, by asking you how, from your point of view, from the Hamas point of view, how is this war going at the moment? Badly, well, or what?
Okay, since the Israeli aggression, on my point of view in Gaza Strip is very bad, because if you see, if you calculate the people who get killed from the beginning, from the first day, approximately more than 300 people there. And if you calculate the people who get killed right now, approximately more than 800, that means there's 500, most of them children and women. Maybe 90% of the killing from the beginning day until now, 90% children and killing, and that's a battle. This is not the battle. This is if the Israeli wanna fight, they can fight the people who armed people, not the civilian people, not the women and the children. And this is the worst thing in this battle.
What do you think of as victory? What would you regard in this battle as a victory over Israel?
You know, we can't win the battle by defeat Israel. We know that the balance of power in their hand, and they have most sophisticated weapon. And I'm not talking about this kind of winner. I'm talking about they have the very bad aggression against the Palestinian people, and they put some objective to accomplish. Until now, they accomplished nothing. They can't change the formula in Gaza Strip. They can't destroy the launcher of rocket in the Gaza Strip. They can't, put Hamas in the very bad position in front of themselves and in front of their people. They accomplished nothing until now. That's what we mean about win the battle. The Israeli, they're lying. They said Hamas refused the Security Council resolution. We didn't refuse the United Nations resolution. We said we have no related to that resolution. Nobody asked us. Nobody inspect our position. Nobody talk with us about the resolution. That means Hamas, there is no related between Hamas and that resolution. But when they implement that resolution, somebody should talk with us, and we are ready to talk about the ceasefire, especially if there is any immediate ceasefire, because we want to stop the killing among our people, children and women.
Obviously, a ceasefire would be a great step forward, and so on. Tell me, do you think, Mr. Marzouk, there will ever come a day when a Hamas state and an Israel state could live next to each other in peace?
Sir, we will never look for Hamas state. We look for Palestinian state. We look forward to accomplish our objective, to be independent, to Palestinian to return to their country, to Palestinian to get their right. This is we fight for, not for Hamas state.
That's very clear. Well, we thank you very much indeed, Mr. Marzouk, for joining us and taking this time to do so.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, that's the view from one side. Now let's hear from the other. I'm joined from Jerusalem by Ambassador Danny Ayalon, until recently the Israeli ambassador to the United States. Tell me, today the Guardian here in the headline, the London Guardian, Obama camp ready to open up dialogue with Hamas. Not at the top level, but it says that they've realized that this business of pretending that Hamas doesn't really exist is not working. What's your reaction to that?
A lot of concern because Hamas is a terrorist organization. By law, which was legislated in the United States, Hamas is on the list of terror, I believe also by the European Union.
Yes,
but
sorry
it's
to
not
interrupt
just
you
the
for a minute,
legalistic
but sorry to interrupt you for 1 second. It was also democratically elected. Some people say it's democratically elected, Hamas. Some people say it's a terrorist organization.
Well,
some people say it's both.
Yes. Well, right. I would take issue about the democratically elected because it was a mistake to let an armed element to run for elections. And this is a precedent, which is a very bad one, because I'll tell you, Sir David, in Iraq, after the operation there in 2003, they didn't let armed elements to run. And the precondition for running to the election was to disarm. The same was in Kosovo. In Gaza, it was the only precedent where they allowed Hamas to run without the Hamas disarming itself. And this is a bad element. Now, so on top of that, if you start negotiating with Hamas, I think it will have really no sense. It will just embolden them on the one hand, and it also will undermine the authority and legitimacy of the Palestinian Authority, Abu Mazen. Here you have, for once, a pragmatic Palestinian leader who is talking about a solution, a peaceful solution, 2 states living side by side, Israel and the future Palestine, according to the roadmap. And Hamas says it. And all you have to do, Sir David, and I would urge your viewers to go into and read the charter of Hamas. Just go into their websites. It's very anti-Semitic. They do not believe in Israel's right to exist. They want to really establish a one Islamic or pan-Islamic state over there. They're even against the PLO. So what sense is it to reward them and to legitimize them? And also, I believe that if you did take another poll there, I'm not sure that they would be elected again.
If your opponents were here, they'd say we have a situation now where in this war, in fact, Palestinians' lives have been 75 times as many Palestinian lives have been lost than Israeli lives.
Yes, well, I couldn't say it's unfortunate because most of the losses are of armed terrorists, although there are some civilians, and we're very, very sorry for that. But again, who's responsible? Whereas they target civilians and civilians only, and the only reason, Sir David, that we did not, and that thanks God, more injuries and losses is because we keep our children at home.
How is this war going to end?
Well, I believe that the clock is ticking. I believe everyone will try to end it before the new administration will take office January 20th. I believe by then, hopefully, the situation in the ground will be such that the military capabilities of Hamas will be further diminished. And then I think Egypt will have a major role in any future regime. So I believe at the end there will be a new political regime established which will render hopefully Hamas much weaker and without, and that's the most important, without the capabilities of rearming itself.
Daniel Ayalon, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Sir David.
In a minute, a clash between the Israeli point of view and the Hamas point of view on Gaza, after this short break.